All right, so we're going to revisit factoring by trial and error, so to speak. We're going to look at the possible factors I could use to get 21x squared, and those are 7x for my first term and 3x for my first term, or 21x for my first term and 1x for my first term. Those are the only possible factors of 21, 7 times 3 and 21 times 1. Now, each of those I could pair with the factors of -2, which are 2 and 1, but they have different signs because it's a -2. That means they're going to have different signs. So I'm going to subtract the absolute values to get the middle terms. Q is going to come from subtracting the absolute values. So I'm going to put a -2 and a 1, +1, or a +1 and a -2. And that could be positive, that would be negative. Signs are going to be different. Okay, so when I subtract these, I'm going to have 7 on the outside and 6 on the inside. And I'm subtracting, so I'm going to get 1x. Or if I change the signs, I would get -1x. So it's going to be positive or negative 1x. Now on this one, the outside terms are going to give me 14x, negative. The inside terms are going to give me 3x, positive. So that's going to be -11x. Of course, if I change the signs, then it would be positive 11x. We're going to say plus or minus 11x. Now, the same options go with the 20 and 1x and the 1x. I could have a -2 and a +1, or +1 and a -2. And again, the outsides are 21x, and the insides are -2x, which gives me 19x. If I change the signs, it would be -19x. So we're going to put plus or minus 19x. And finally, -42x, +1x gives me -41x. But if I change the signs, it'd be +41x. So we're going to put plus or minus 41x. So the answers are going to be plus and minus 1x, comma, plus and minus 11x, comma, plus and minus 19x, comma, plus and minus 41x. And the way you make that plus and minus symbols on your keyboard, just hit plus and minus real quick, one after the other on the keyboard. Plus, minus, it'll pop that little code up for you. Let's look at another example. So this time, my last term is positive. That means they're going to have the same signs. So I'm going to add the absolute values. And the factors are 2x and 1x. And that's the only way you can get 2x squared, 2 times 1. Now this 35 could be 35 and 1, or 1 and 35. Another option for the 35 is 7 and 5. So I could have 2x plus 5 and 1x plus 7, or 2x plus 7 and 1x plus 5. In each case, the factors are 2 and 1, and the factors are either 35 and 1 or 5 and 7. I've paired up all the possibilities. Okay, so using the FOIL method, since these have the same signs, because that's positive, so I'm going to add the absolute values. I have 2x and 35x. Which is going to be 37x. I made both of them negative, but still give me a positive 35, but I'd have a negative 37x. So we're going to say plus or minus. The outsides are 70x. The insides are 1x, and that is 71x. Of course, if I change the signs, I still have a positive 35, but now I'd have a negative 71. So we're going to say plus or minus 71x. Outsides are 14x. Insides are 5x. For a grand total of 19x, plus or minus if I change the signs, and 10x and 7x. And since they have the same signs and I'm adding, that's 17x if I change the signs, plus or minus. So the answers here are going to be plus or minus 37x, plus or minus 71x, comma, plus or minus 19x, comma, plus or minus 17x. And that's what's going to go in that little thing right there. A couple of points to notice. Because this was positive, I added these. Because in the earlier one, your constant term had been negative. I subtracted these. I didn't add them to get 13. I subtracted them to get 1. So good luck, and I hope that helps.